wide wrap into the island's edge, where it is a full ball between all the members. Then Yoizi crashes to the wall, and Rosemary, he's not gonna get it right back. Kasim tries to hold his ground, and just about upon arrival, my beginning finds him. Krypton still lasting out to take 2 members of CD Alliance, and CD Alliance, they're badly licking their wounds, and here comes the full push coming from Krypton.
He's going to get cooked up here for Krypton. Bad Rue there off the rip, looking to offer the flank, and yep, that is
themselves a couple of points, and that kind of puts a little dent over on the Elvis Lucas. Despite those 4 points gained, TODAK now holds down the line with the arrival of AST, and Cleon, he finds it with the AUG and DBS. He flicks it so perfectly in time, and now he just has to find Gante, and he lands the final nail in the coffin for AST.
Yeah, unfortunate for Center Driver MSC, but Force Rise! Oh my days!
I guess that was a play. I mean, crucial pointer gain, and denying TODAK was everything right there for 4 tries.
Pretty congested by these players. A lot of nades flying in once again, and boom, might just feed off that. Oh! Jar is going to be down to the ground. Looking to get another one as well. APG is just bombarding this one with nades, and that should be another elimination to their name, and another knock to their name. APG hailing down the nades off from the players of Esports.
These guys are making it rain, and
insane up against APG. Unfortunately for them, though, can't draw in the distance for them to close it out. But one player, once again, 10D, will get dropped down to the ground. Bit of an exchange here off the nades here, Contra.
Yeah, MVKE playing offense and defense at the very same time. That connection onto Ruthless might be worth something, and now he's down to only 1 shot remaining, but he exchanges perfectly up against Wu T. Backup follows suit, and the rest of APG is unstoppable.
Nade once again to close out the class. APG and eliminations to their name.
Absolute obliteration. And all the perfect utility toss is how APG triumphs up against 2 of these squads that we've witnessed just getting sent off by bombardments. And RQ right now goes up close and personal up against the rest of Team Secret. They took a long while to get back into the island, and upon arrival is met by even the likes of the Tigers of 7-9 over on the outskirts. So sandwich in between, they gotta play it slowly. Whereas Team Secret, they're also in the battle of the zone up against the rest of VPE, while Yummy's claiming the zone by himself.
Vampires here. Lazarus looking to sustain. For the side of Team Secret, though, only Yukai is going to be all alone and kicking for the squad, as RQ has been able to feast on the first initial 3 members here off the squad. One player from the side of Vampire Esports said that it's going to be Gooey here. No, never mind. Lazarus able to get a cut off, and that is going to be Team Secret here, putting it down to the top 5 squads remaining inside of this round. APG, 7-9, Vampire Esports, RQ, and Boom Esports. They try to stay alive, but Boom Esports can't contain it.
My, this has been the fastest round that we've seen so far inside ERANGEL. Only stage 6, and we're already down to our final 4 remaining. As much as Boom Esports was trying to hold on to that spot, they were down to only Yummy to hold out, so eventually they gave way to the sure firepower of the rest of 7-9 early on. And somehow, after so many fights, Vampire Esports still remain at...
Find what's right for you.
You call out VPE, APG looking to take the spotlight. Next one up against VPE, and that will be... They're knocked there, but not too certain if they can thrust out the elimination. Nope, too much coverage to deal with, but if ever APG can just put themselves in a better state in rotation and have more obstacles to play around with, maybe till then it could really slither out of this round, but still too much factors to deal with. But no, another player from the side of APG finds Vexcry on 7-9. And APG, they're feeling it right now.
Man, Vexcry just made a debut today, and he's already down on his knees already. I don't think that 7-9's got enough time to even go in for the resuscitation. And look at APG. They're kind of greedy, taking a lot of that space, but rightfully so, where they've been able to win battles from the uphill grounds. And this is that tandem working it out. And Ripple still finding Zyle in the process, but quickly traded out with ease, coming with the support from right down under.
Oh, bit of a tall order here. Vampire Esports. Fortunately, though, they didn't have a lot of coverage in this ridge to play around with. On the visuals, they have RQ on the other side. Same goes for the side of APG, but the zone is drawing in near, closing it out now. Starting to hurt just a little bit. And they don't really have any options aside from to just try to go for the commitment or off the rotation. Booster to go for the rotation, but unfortunately Reflux finds one. Able to get a secure minute as well off the elimination. Another player might smite the dust here. The shotgun for the face! What ace? Background Esports now here collapsing, falling into shambles.
He's just a one-man army handling all the members of Vampire Esports, and they're denied that space from even making it in. And here comes Doc. He lands the final blow, and they secure themselves into the top three. Vampires only good for 5 points of elimination. And now, with all the control in their hands, APG is hoping to find the finishing touches. But Sem9, they still have tree members, though, so they can still fend off against the tree that's been really racking the majority of points. It's been 15 eliminations already for APG.
Looking back a lot more, APG. And this one done. One player alive for the set of RQ, just hiding behind the sedan. And APG, they're looking to try to chase this one apart. And they got their visuals already up against a player from the set of RQ, but they got to deal with Sem9. Gonna be 2 players there. RQ, though, is last player just can't find any breathing room. So much casualties he has to worry about from the left to the right to the front side.
To me, it's just pretty insane on how they've been actively hunting out. You know, they weren't just sitting around the gas station, which they booked very early on, and Sem9 has been able to claim that final point up against RQ, so it's down to this 3 versus 2 duel. Sem9 weakened from that ambush coming from the back, and now it is a tall order to even find those members of APG when they're just tucked by the very edge of the zone. They're not even in there just yet, so APG is just gonna send all their details, and it does clip onto Satria. It feels like there's a tracker on these nades of APG.
Yeah, APG has always been playing off the nades, and it has been prevailing. And just like that, it brought them, brings them the initial win of the first round of today's broadcast. ERANGEL, onto their name, APG finally bagging in another chicken dinner. Utility usage. It's now probably the best team here in regards to rocking the nades.
Sure enough, I don't see any other team
Being out away from the mess here of Miramar, we're down to the top 6 squads remaining here inside of this round.
That perfect elevated angle coming from LaFire, so for supplementing on the numbers that they've been able to claim coming from 52 Esports, and just ending their current spree for the meantime. Talent so far goes on the full reset, still having 4 members strong. They've been really improving every step of the way, and once again, Coach LaFire finding one all the way downtown, and that's up against the members of Vampire Esports. And man, if this guy looks so good, he really gotta go 1v1 up against Coach Ken. But I mean, these 2 guys, someone may call them old dogs, but they are really showing up to these prodigies that this is how you get things done.
Oh, the nade from Lazarus to the face of Lazarus. Nicole able to get it done. Talon Esports hailing from the skies, off with a nade, and once again Vampire Esports, just unfortunate for them, not able to get it done. Now we are looking at the Xavier, BTR, TODAK, Talon here. Complete set of players. Out there, Eagle Airs will only have 2 here. In the set of time here, Contra, anything can truly happen.
Yeah, and there's just about ample space for these teams to really take certain control of the portion of the map. And that's crucial enough for Talon because they dictate over the south, but if it does shift further to the north, then Houston, we might actually see some problems for the rest of Talon, but they're having that momentum. They can absolutely ride on that high volume of, I mean, not only kills that they've been able to garner, but the pace that they're going at right now is just outstanding. The rest of BTR so far defended very well over onto that corner over north, but now met up with the rest of TODAK. These 2 teams went back and forth, but yet finding anything in the process. And it's just so impressive that TODAK, despite being pit up against the blue zone all the time, they've been able to make the cut right into the zone, and now fighting for that space even closer up against those 2 members of BTR Planet in the center.
TODAK here on the red side. Have a big fight here up against BTR. Federalis The other side just holding on. Good shed. Homebois finds still one player from the side of Talon that is going to cool out. And it's going to be pretty tough here. Federalis knows exactly what's up as well. They're up with TODAK. Nate flies on by. I was a bit short. Kenny's going to be down to the ground. ETR now here closing up the distance. Could be a big fight. Coming all. Optimus, Bumblebee, rotating there on the other side of the map. Federalis able to throw in some shots. Another shotgun going to go with out here by the side of Optimus. Looks to put this one through. Operating a pinch now. Backside, TODAK can't find the shots to connect.
A little bit of exchange coming in, but there's just too much volume of Smiths right now taking cover. And finally, they find that pinch over onto the member of TODAK. And now it's Mango stuck inside of that dip. Not much that he can actually do out of the situation, but he's trying to trade right back. But Optimus is just too sharp. Where can he even consider Meteor reign supreme in that fight? And now they're on the hunt, taking absolute control of the North. D-Saber looking to challenge them on that space.
The Xavier looks to put the show here. A striking chance for them to bag in their winner chicken dinner. Swell. Still. 3 more casualties to deal with. Federalis eats a nade directly to the face. Off the head. Nade cheap. Beautiful cut. Not gonna be enough though to put the one player down to the ground here. Now rotation has to be spotted over. Talon Esports has himself a bit caught in the pinch here up against all 3 Ego Risks. Alongside the Xavier Paragin, they're off the rip from the south side. Now, Nate looking to close it out here up against Razy, up against Federalis as well there for the side of ETR. Definitely not the fight that you want to commit for.
3 superstars from Indonesia, and of course the ace of Vietnam looking to pummel True and Alter Ego. They're shredded apart. Federalis on the strike, and this is what he does best towards the late game when he's allowed the opportunity to do so. They're big to not for getting their way into the North, and they have to fight their way out, and those pumps coming in will dent the hopes and dreams of Talon Esports. Well, toe-to-toe, DX goes up front, and they find a mark, but instead, it's that exchange that comes true for Optimus. Now, leaving the pack for the rest of BTR. Nate still trying to recover, though, so it's really down to Levi's to make a little bit more damage towards the side of BTR. And here comes that grenade. It does not connect.
It's flying on by 2v2, and Razy will get eliminated by the side of Bad Roo. Moana is now going to be off the rip here from the side of Alter Ego Refs. Should have an overview on the players of BTR. Federalis tagged off, Paragin into the mix. Federalis is down to the ground. Optimus here longing to survive out of this mess. 3 players from the side of the Xavier looking to put up a crusade as they put down the players of BTR. No Moana beats him to it. Now it's Alter Ego Eris up against the Xavier here for the final battle.
And it's already 40 points for Alter Ego Ares. They've been managing to stack up so much of these just by really singling out every team, but just getting into the battle, and they've been those vultures. Now 2 more players left. Can they clutch it up against the rest of D-Saber? They've already activated a whole lot, and D-Saber is trying to see if they can actually haggle for a little bit of space to eventually rock up against Batru as well as Moana on the other sector, and he does connect! And now, one man standing away, D-Saber is about to land their first ever chicken dinner.
Coordinated shot from the side of the Xavier could lead to that absolute win. Moana has been loud and hungry, but the Xavier is so much more in control inside of this round. Neji Paragin looks to get an angle to get this one over with. Moana gets caught on the pinch, gets tugged up. Neji closing it up here with an S-12 to the face. One more connection. Should be enough, should be sufficient enough to close out the deal. Should be it now. Another player hails down from the sky. Hands down, the Xavier closing it out. Winner chicken dinner.
This was such a satisfying.
And they are not going to be able to get the angle now. Yeah, Precious though put himself into the mixture, but I feel like it's a bit too late to find the means to stand up for your teammates. So it's going to be a frags up and within here for the side of NAPX, and so far the Stockholm Digital Alliance not really feeling the groove.
Yeah, and they were quicker on the charge, bringing the entire cavalry into this equation. Now all to 966, Onic Luke! Oh, he got bombarded perfectly, despite him finding the angles.
Oh, wow. Just like that. Only one more player here.
Giant brand new kid added to the block, and he's trying to prove himself worthy by taking out the Tigers, but the Tigers fight back. Now back over to the corner, Yumiko supplements the attack. He's going to be the only one that is healthy enough to really look for even more members of the side of Fortress, but he's got to reset his teammates first and foremost. Nyash now up for the trade, as well as we're seeing brand new names now being found and tested inside the first tier, and they're winning the duel. Still 2 versus 2.
Nyash on the top side drops down. Or tries. We hold this one steady. Sem9, they're gonna go for a reset there. Has to pick up one of his teammates. That is gonna be one player here up on the ground. Now here. X-Cry gonna be holding on here. Has it. Probably gun to play with, but don't really have the best of all odds. But we're just at a first strike, so you gotta be careful now. He's on there. Rush for your magazine. You don't really have a lot of bullets to work with as well, but no, you make up from the top, able to get one as well. That is gonna be Taki here. Gonna go for the spray. Can't really find the shots, not just yet. But it's gonna be 4 players, 4 times there, trying to back away. But now has to go for commitment and still finds the Punisher. Nyash bro finds one. Looking to get traded here for the set of 7-9. Everlasting fight. And a big old fight will end with 7-9. The Tigers able to get the best out of it.
The Prodigies going after each other, and thankfully, with that form of a repeat coming from Valid, they got to get the heck out of there.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Cool. Main town Severny going to be preoccupied by those 2 ends. Enemy X-12 coming from down south, and just yeah, but Shirley is picking up and within, and then he does actually drop down, finds Claw away from the scene, and he's going to try to run away for his life as well. Can he do it?
Oh, that perfect name from Zeal finds him. And now Precious is left sprinting all the way far back. I don't think that he's got much of that space, but he's been able to just swerve right over on the far end, and now onto the crosshair of Rifus as he's not giving way. And his tires are being popped, and he gets punished instead. Wow, that's a turn of events that we didn't expect.
Shots after shots, trades after trades to go. APG now here, often on the prowl. Take down another player of NPX. Precious getting drive by. One to himself. Looks to get another. Shotgun on his hands. Only a tag away for him to go down. He's going to be the last glimmer of hope here for the side of NPX. And simultaneously, it's going to be Suncon to the Alliance. Days. One time, one team could definitely take the spotlight for a moment or two, but the rest will come through. And now it's going to be Flash here dealing with the last and final player of APG, Sem9. Also on a spree, 5 to their name as well.
Yeah, they also managed to shut down the rest of APG. So that is one big competitor out of the field. Talent Esports so far looking rather clean on their execution as well. Very methodical on their approach. They're trying to single out each respective target by just wrapping around the edges of the zone. And over the far corner, Voin Donkey has been playing it rather safe. Still elusive upon the rest of these other team, but you gotta just take a couple of steps to get right into the zone. Zyron only down to have to fend for himself for AST to try to keep themselves afloat for now, in comparison to the rest of the field who's got majority 3 to 4 members. Also having MVKE to last out with only 2 men left, but Team Flash eyes on the prize now. They definitely know that there's plenty more of these players still around the field of shooting range, but it is rather difficult, especially with those kind of creases that they're hiding out with. So we'll see that back and forth happen between Talon and Flash instead.
Sprays on by Zeus. Now look at the shot connector up with the Vikings. Not just yet though. 7th to their name. Only nearly 19 minutes now inside of this run, and definitely a bit of a lower start than what we initially saw there from the first round of ERANGEL here contra. Now we do get to see Team Flash here just driving by into the vicinity of Talent Esports. It's going to be Join actually here getting tagged up from the top, but looks to still sustain. For side of Talent Esports, they are also in striking distance to actually run it off with this very round, but they got to deal with bounce from afar. And that should be a securement off an elimination if I'm not mistaken. Yep, that is it. Talent Esports going to be dropping the numbers as well.
Yep, so good on his execution. Right now, Team Flash also found that space for the Dorf, and that is currently being challenged by the rest of Boing Donkey at the very same time. They get the first dibs. And now, Resident Point Donkey has got no other choice but to really play by the shorelines. Now, this is rather interesting as to how Void Donkey might be finding a way to eventually rush towards that section, but there's just too many open angles to really go up against the rest of Team Flash. Meanwhile, speaking of angles, oh, that was a nasty one coming from Yumeko.
Definitely. Yumeko throws up the nade there, but no angle at all. No opportunities there. Up on the front side. 20 minutes now clocking in. Here for this very round. Esports looks to have a bit of an angle there against Team Flash. This is going to be one player they got to worry about. Team Flash so far, though, they are seeming to be on a pretty marginal roll here on this very round. They got this mounted for themselves. They only got to worry about Talon Esports here on the left-hand side. But the rest, they should be pretty much in control. But 40 seconds left, though, before the zone decides to position towards stage 6. That's where things can get more erratic.
Down to only a strand of HP left. But he's just trying to choke out whatever space left over the side of the Fox, but they retaliate with that beautiful grenade dropping in from Zoo to the right. Moving it yet again into another top 5. And we still have 2 of the Malaysian teams on board, though. I want to see if Senline can still get themselves into a better position, because now that descent from the hillside is going to leave them absolutely exposed to not only Vikings, but also AZ Slumber.
Void Donkey does have the best of all odds here, a complete set of players to their name. AZ Slumber has an overview there of the players of SEM9. Explorers to the left side, those are the Vikings that we got to worry about as well. Tigers here slowly trampling. SEM9 not having the best of looks, and they get cut off the rotation there, all due to DOI from the side of Triber Messi, cutting them apart. And a single blend from Triber Messi, making it all happen. The competition drops down to 4 squads remaining.
And SEM9 absolutely got denied of that space. I mean, they just got those. Oh, Void Donkey on the rush! And they finally found it, but at a heavy cost. 3 members down on the ground right now, and the damage is coming in from Zayo, and he's just sneaking it all the way right under the vehicle, and he finds it up against Couture.
No way. No way. 4 players drops down to just 2. Disaster for the side of Void Donkey. Now AZ Slumber might just get the last and final lap. Zoi has been ratting this one through, just picking players off part by part. AZ Slumber has been in control of the situation, though. But they do find themselves another frag to their side. AZ Slumber, Zontux was for spray, but the shot to the face. The punish is there. Void Donkey's Yak. She should have enough time to go for the reset.
Oh, now he finds Zayo running right across the field. He does get into the cover of smoke, though. Razak! Oh, he almost clutched it up against the entirety of AZ Slumber. And then, I don't know if it's just a mishap or a big blunder coming in from AZ to rush in 1 by 1. They underestimated the firepower of Razak, and they paid the full price for it.
Now, so 1v1 for each end. Triple standoff! Well, Joy finds another as well. Driver Messi's Joy. Been popping through the roof here for this last and final circle, but unfortunately for him, yeah, Razak gonna be able to get the pick up there for the Mochi. That is gonna be enough to call it all down to a 2v1 here, but Joy has done it before. Took down the whole squad of SEM9. It's 2. Who can do it?
And for the fact of the matter is, they've already spotted Zayo's location right behind that tree. And they just really have to work in tandem to really find that final pick for Void Donkey to secure the chicken dinner. But we've seen the miracles happen back in day 1. A 1v2 clutch is still very, very likely. They're thinking about full sending it, having Razak on that buggy. But I'm not too sure if that buggy's going to be able to pick up just about enough speed. But if he can decoy just about enough, perhaps it will open some angles for Mochi to go in for that frag to close out the game. And now those smokes, I'm not too sure if this kind of blockades him with those angles, but it is just a setup for Razak to draw in for a close. Zayo's got a smoke of his own as well. He's finding a little cover right behind the rocks. And now he goes full pro, looking for the angle up against Razak. Razak gets the cover, and Razak finds it!
Razak!
Whichever name over the fact that he likes to update from time to time. He's holding on to the M249 so he could actually go spraying and spraying if he wants to. Delta now on the challenge, and Zio! Oh, Zio! Last man standing last round is going to once again hunt out for those numbers, and it is HB receiving the brunt of the dagger, so...
yeah, not really a great look, but Lucas Major no one has to go for the spray down, has Manzi up in the crosshair, and doesn't go for the fight! No!
He doesn't go!
I know, it's so bad, he wants to go for the spray down, but no, it's a bit too late now. And the shot's going to be thrown towards his direction as well, and not too far apart. Alter Ego Eric's going to be drawing it near, but Yami Joe is here with shotgun. Finds a lucky can himself, but the trade is there. Pelton finds himself the frag. That's only going to be...
It's only good for one knock, but here comes Rosemary. He's definitely in for a little bit of that party as he joins in for a little bit of fun time. A lot of damage being done. Krypton doing the chunk of it, and right now it's Alter Ego to claim all.
Alter Ego Era's battery once again has the DBS on hand. The nade's going to be flying on by as well. Rosemary entering the first floor. Now, two players down to the ground here for the side of Team 52 and making Helton as well. Out and going. Question is though, where's the fourth player for the side of Team 52? Missing in action. And it's going to be Rosemary here. Should be checking on by here on the room to secure the last two players here on Team 52 here on Impala.
I think the last we saw was Manzi up the hillside, right? And he's pretty much...
There's another player from the side of Void Donkey prevails out of the mess. They get topside control. They can hail down from the skies as well. Just around, just wants to play out, but for sure, Razak finds you all away. And that is going to be the players. The other side here, not really finding the best.
Just to buy a little bit more space for his teammate. But that's three members charging through. Void Donkey somehow getting exchange ease. He finally gets the pick off. And that's all the way from down under.
Oh my days. Coming in. Get another. Void Donkey. Refuss of APG today. Take off the DBS and nades enough to put you down. He's now here into the mixer as well. Cavalry arrives. Razak tagged up. Only one more shot to go. Razak sprays on by with a Victor, but it's not going to be enough shot at all. No connection. He hops in with the MP. Pops on by, finds one more player to Void Donkey. APG into the mix as well. Back and forth battle as we speak.
It's crazy that he's working with only two members and they're depleting members after members of Void Donkey. And right now they're limping away. They call for truce for the meantime, and too much damage has been dealt. And look who's here. The Kings of Kings, Rex Rigum Keon is here to play.
RQ, Lapar and Nogut. Lapar finds Refus away. He's still on the top side. Nathan once again here for a set of East. Nice Nogut true. He's able to get the kill there up because Nogut. The round persists here with East all alone for the set of APG. The last sliver of hope, but RQ looks to finds himself there into a fight of the Vikings. Vikings has been pretty loud here. Three to their name. Set of players, and they're still not done. Here, they know they want to deal with Telecom Digital Alliance. They want to go for the fight. TODAK in the process. No, finds 4, tries to eliminate it. And that is going to be securing the number 5 spot here for the rest of the competition. Vampire Esports, TODAK, the Vikings, Telecom Digital Alliance, and the single player from the Homebois.
The fights keep on giving, and it's only stage 6, mind you that. Full stacks for the side of BPE, TODAK as well as MVKE. Tids starting the engine just a little slow this time around, but they did manage to make the cut. Now prepping them up to the grenades. Just zoning out some space, denying that entry point coming from the side of MVKE, but this is inevitable that they will just storm right through. Drag now in between them all as he is being put down to sleep.
Oh, Telecom Digital Alliance, hold your grounds, hold your horses. The Vikings up in your way. Break here onto the brow. Bubble and Cheese gonna get tagged up. Same goes for the rest of the competition. You take the fight and you pay the price. Telecom Digital Alliance is saving.
They prevail out of the unthinkable. I mean, that's more members than supposed to be. be able to outfight that, but they receive some help, and it's all the way from down under. Vampire Esports so far holding on to the high ground up against the rest of the members of TODAK, and they're going back and forth trading, looking for the head. He does connect one shot. Lazarus is just gonna hail bullets after bullets, suppressing those members of TODAK from getting any forward. They don't really have vehicles. What could they do this time around? I mean, they are running out of that space. They're just by the very edge of it all. Vampire Esports got them hell right down under.
7 to their name, a complete composition as well. They're definitely on the run. The closest one out as Gooey finds Frenzy down to the ground, praying all to the PUBG gods. Spare my life. But it's going to be Vampire Esports here with no mercy at all. Finds Leon as well. They're falling into the traps of the players of Vampire Esports.
TODAK, they ran out of smokes. They got no cover at all. It's all down to Kenny, the last surviving member from Homebois. 3 Malaysian teams, but it is the Titans of Thailand here with their supremacy, just being such a menace to the rest of the pack.
Control they go. Homebois, TODAK now here with only one player left. Cito, .com Digital Alliance has 3 for their name.
Up against Red Bull, the ferocious player that's been the main fragger of Vampire Esports.
That 3 remains. In the picture, it's going to be Homebois here. Thrown down to the ground. Even in the first here for the side of Telecom Digital Alliance. Vampire Esports is holding on to the terrain. The zone favors them at most. They're going to go for the cut there off the rotation. They find the last player of Homebois. Yamil Z is now going to be out. It's just all going to come down to Vampire Esports and Telecom Digital Alliance.
And now, Telecom DG Alliance battling for that space. They're going for separated rotations, guarding each side of the wings. But as much as I say that, they're pretty much bunched up all together once again. That makes it a little easier for Bella to eventually spot out their position, but they don't really care right now. They want to take that fight up against the rest of Vampire Esports, but keep in mind, Yui now going for the wide wrap for a flank. So the rest of the Telecom DG Alliance, they gotta pay attention to this.
One player here pushing up. We see eyes of Red Bull and Lazarus. Danae's gonna get cooked here, but might just fall a bit too short. That's to disengage. Out of side control here for side of Telecom Digital Alliance, and the shots fires. Not gonna be enough definition there to get the knock, not just yet. But if you look at this on paper, it is the players of Telecom Digital back against the wall. But Gooey just convert with a spray. Response back from Force. See him there with a mini 14. Able to get one player on just a little bit of hell. Telecom Digital Alliance now, you're feeling it off down. 2 players knocked down. Vampire Esports, they feel it.
Oh, Huey, he dropped just about enough attention for the rest of Vampire Esports to crash right through, and it's all down to the final bang. And
Jeez, well played.
speak. And finally, we get ourselves that challenge once again. Talon versus HB inside of Silver Noi. And I think, like, from the past couple of counts, it's been Talon that's been able to really take charge of that planet somewhere around the power grid and Martin. And then it's like, oh, this hard shift, they could just expend for days and not stop for anything at all.
Sure, you're gonna go for the spray. Oh, no key. Out and going, and yep, that should be the nade to close things out there. But it does fall behind the car. Should it be enough? Oh, yep, it will be the.
For all the matches that we've not casted an urban setting warfare to close off the entirety of the matchup. So we might be through this very well for our final match. And old AT squeezes it right through the window and through the corners of the wall to find that knock. And BTR members, they're kind of separated apart. He's going to pop those tars as well, depleting that UAZ.
Circle here, definitely going to be reverberating around the ground. He's Refos. He's holding things down here. Fall back away, drop smoke. Bennett coverage. Caught up with the AZ Slumber Squad now here. Farther across the compound. He's here, going to get trampled from the player from the back. Now defense will get off for your Alpha Gaming. Not really in the best shape before. This Refos now going to be all alone with an S-12 on the hand. Shouldn't matter at most. Survives with a slither of health. I don't know if he had enough distance to call him for the reset. UMP on in the hands. Onto the face. Should be a big spray down, but S-12 Ruthless fights one, but it's not going to be enough to secure the elimination. Nonetheless, AJ Slumber wins the clutch. Finding one player, making a double, and then it's going to be Salicon DGL eliminated as well.
And their streak has been denied right now with the firm hold coming in from MGN Vikings. But what exactly is the next call right now? Trang, receiving help coming from Moon T, crawls into safety. It's between these three teams. By the slums is I8 elusive by the corner. 7-9. Still having so much room to wiggle with by the containers up north, and they are confident enough to even plant Satria by the very far edge. And now, SI8 drops a couple of nades, and that is going to put a little bit of dent up towards the members of Sem9.
Ooh. Pop off. Here, a 5 remains. Coming through. Need to get this one done here. Esports Missionaries seems to be in so much control of the situation. 9 better rounds from the back finds Specs right away, and now it's gonna be Satria all alone.
Wow, it's just so clustered up. It all goes down to a matter of millimeters on those catches. Baby extends for a little further out. Living from Sci-Fi all the way back inside the warehouse, and in between Weezy. How on earth did he actually pop the perfect Molotov? And now he gets the double dot, baby! He found the angle and now punishes the rest of Vikings, and they're slowly withering down. Razy also closing in, and now they want to just take the rest of ASI out of this party.
Getting into the mix, race by. Here's Ifa. Finds Razy a bit tagged up. BTR is caught in the middle side here. On paper, this should be a game for the side of Talon Esports, but they get the bullet straight directly to their face. Boy, still knocked to the ground. LaFire getting tagged up as well.
BTR, they're just waiting for the rest of these players to run towards the direction before they open fire. And yes, they will claim a couple more, but this is actually coming all the way from Yoru. And take a look at this. Talon so far, snacking all of them up, and now 4v4v4 to call the final chicken dinner of the night.
But in the mid side, can they sustain? Sem9 so far closing up here from the left side. Talon Esports, oh, it's the nade once again. Boy, still once again down to the ground. So much things going on here. Nade's just getting tossed all over the place. Federales gets tugged up, but not going to be enough to get the knock as well.
A lot of back and forth between the two of them, and right now they gotta quickly revive, and the zone closing all the way through. Talon, they're getting slowly choked out, and Sem9, despite them wanting to approach to backstab the rest of BTR, is slowly covering in defeat.
Demise coming in, and just like that, last word left here for Sem9, and BTR makes it happen. The dream for